But fighting these people with more war, with more bombs, with more blowing up of things, I don't see how this is going to be a solution either way, this way or that way. It's not. I must. I was thinking when the Americans were attacking Afghanistan, after 9/11. I was thinking if they spent those $13 billion they were spending a day or something like that, imagine if they spent that much money. Every Afghani could have had millions and millions and millions of dollars. How much money could they spend transforming that country economically? Would there be any terrorists? Do you think there'd be any terrorists if everyone had an amazing job and an amazing house? And I don't think so, right? And I think generally, apart from a few exceptions, this is the problem. People are disenfranchised. People are angry. Their homes have been destroyed. Their families have been killed. Or they've seen people who they empathize with. Okay, you may say, well, why would someone in London go and join someone in Syria?
Yes.
That's a good question. But I have to tell you, this is something that in Islam we really genuinely feel for every Muslim. We look at every Muslim like our brother and sister. We do, really. When I see people dying, I feel that's like my kids dying. Even if they're not Muslim, that's how I feel. So Muslims feel this impetus to want to do something. And unfortunately, if they don't have Islamic knowledge, like the Sheikh was pointing out, it's very easy for them to be misdirected by people who can manipulate them to take this enthusiasm in the wrong direction. This is what it is. A lot of these people are they have the good intentions, but they are misdirected by these people who manipulate them. Often, by the way, these groups and these people are only out for their own personal power.
Is the world and its actions, specific countries, of course, and individuals and groups, fueling terrorism? The way they counteract.
I don't think, I'm not an expert in counterterrorism, but there's a lot of money in terrorism, by the way. There's a lot of money in counterterrorism. Some people are always, like there's a lot of money in war. We have to let's not think that everybody's angels. But I don't think that the methodologies that are being used at the moment in many places are really working very well.
So it's time we change the methodology we use in countering terrorism in the world.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Like one of the some of the frustration that a lot of Muslim youth are dealing with, even in non-Muslim countries, is what Green talked about is, there's a lot of things being done to a Muslim world, and a lot of them, they do not know how to help other than, physically trying to be there. But again, that is a small fraction of Muslim. Majority of the Muslim, they do other great things. But I think we should come to come to a conclusion and try to see if we can come up with a better idea than what we've been using so far.
Does the Muslim community feel involved when it comes to some of the bills and the laws countries pass when it comes to issues to do with terrorism? Do you feel included?
One of the things I wish all the viewers would, I wish everybody would think about things deeply. Let's take an example. I just wonder how our governments measure things, right? For example, I'm not denying terrorism is a threat. Lives are lost.
Yes.
How many lives are lost every year from alcohol abuse? How many lives are lost every year from malaria or any number of diseases, lack of sanitation? We're ready to spend millions and millions of pounds to, prevent what is a relatively small problem in terms of death. Yet people are dying every day because they don't have clean water. Now, I think, personally, some of this serves the agenda of governments who love people to feel that we need them, we need you to protect us, and it's very convenient for them. I'm not really convinced that terrorism is the huge threat that people love it to make it out to be. If you really look at the things that are threatening humanity, one of our top scientists in UK, under the premiership of Tony Blair, he said, for example, global warming outstrips terrorism as a threat to the world exponentially in a way you can't even imagine. The destruction that is going to come through global warming, it's going to make terrorism look like nothing. But what are we doing about it? Because, well, that's the question everyone else has to ask themselves. Rather than me answering it, you answer it for yourself.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in and sharing your insights with some of the things that were discussed in the 3rd Annual Muslim Conference. Some things to think deeply about. Many thanks for coming in. That, of course, was Said Rage and Abdul Rahim Green, Muslim scholars in the country, to attend the 3rd Annual Muslim Conference that ends today.